I'm Jane Epps MMA. This is my prediction and breakdown. UFC 313, Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev. What can I say, folks? It's the fight that we've been waiting for. It's the fight that, will Alex Pereira beat a well-balanced fighter? Someone who can at least implement grappling, at least. I'm not saying he's a grappler. But, this fight is basically carrying the card a little bit, with Dan Hooker and Gaethje falling off, and us seeing Justin Gaethje versus Rafael Fiziev 2. Still a good fight, but we'll see what happens there. Let's get on to the first fight, man. We have a lot of fights to talk about, especially this new fight that just dropped. John Castaneda against Chris Gutierrez. Chris Gutierrez stepping in on short notice because I think it was of injury. I think John Castaneda was supposed to fight Deandrade got hurt. Chris Gutierrez is now in. I think I'm gonna go with Chris Gutierrez. I think he's just a little bit more experienced than John Castaneda. He's fought better opponents. Gutierrez, I think at one point was in the rankings, if I'm correct. Lost to Pedro Munoz. He did beat Frankie Yeager with that nasty kick, bro. Oh my gosh. I mean, it was a knee. It was an nasty knee. The kick was Cheeto Vera. My bad. But in his last fight, he fought Quang Lee. Quang Lee, it's not really that good. Quang Lee was stepping in on short notice for that fight. His last real fight was a loss to Song Yadong. I just think he's fought better opponents. I think Sexy Mexi was supposed to get an old head to see if he can move up and get himself up a little bit. But I don't know. I'm gonna have to go with Chris Gutierrez. Sexy Mexi's last fight was against Daniel Marcos. Obviously that guy's been on a tear. He did beat Muin Gafrov, who's pretty good, bro. I do gotta say that, but I don't know, man. Who's the favorite in here? I don't even know who the favorite is. People got Gutierrez by decision. I think I'm gonna have to go Chris Gutierrez by decision as well. Let's move on. I'm not gonna talk about that fight anymore. We have Ozzy Diaz versus Djorgan Santos. This one is a really hard one to predict. I'm not gonna lie to you because there's obviously Ozzy Diaz has only had one fight in the UFC. Djorgan Santos is making his UFC debut. Ozzy Diaz, dude. His last fight was against Ming Jing Zhang. Got knocked out, dude. Pretty bad. I don't want to give him. He's a craft. I don't know, dude. I think I'm gonna have to go with Djorgan Santos, dude. I think I'm gonna have to go with Djorgan Santos, just cause he looked okay in his Contender Series fight. I'm not gonna say he looked good. He's younger though, 27. He beat Will Curry. I don't know. I'm just gonna go with Santos with this one. He's the younger guy. Maybe he gets the knockout, fires up the card a little bit. But let's move on to the next fight. That I think this one is a little bit more interesting. We have, if this will load, Marion Santos versus Francis Marshall. I think I'm gonna go with Marion Santos in this fight. Francis Marshall, he does have a couple wins in the UFC. He did step in on short notice and he did beat Dennis Bazunga, who trains with Marab and Sterling. But he's lost to Isaac Dogarian and William Gomez. And I think William Gomez is good. He did lose by split decision though, but he did get knocked out by Isaac Dogarian. I think Marion Santos is just a little bit better. In his last fight in the tough finale or whatever against Kalan Olif, he just looked really good out there, and I think he looked good in his in the show. I didn't really watch like that, but when they're showing the highlights, you're good. I'm gonna have to go with Marion Santos. Maybe Francis Marshall shocks the world. I don't even know. But let's move on. We have Alex Morono versus Carlos Leal. I'm going to go with the steroid head, Carlos Leal. Hopefully he doesn't test positive this time around. I'm going to go with him because they're giving him an old head who is on a 2-fight losing streak, who is bound to be cut if he loses this fight. Carlos Leal, he did beat Renat Fakardinov. That was a robbery. Dude, Carlos Leal, bro. If he is not on steroids and he did what he did out there against Renat Fakardinov, he could definitely beat Alex Morono. Alex Morono's lost to Daniel Rodriguez and Nico Price, the Dodo Bird, what Lucas Tracy calls him. But he does fight a lot, bro. He had 3 fights last year, so I'll give him that. And he has what? He's beaten Daniel Cerrone. You know, I don't know, dude. I'm just not gonna go with Alex Morono in this fight. I think Carlos Leal got this, bro. You know, he's gonna be off the steroids, but I think he's gonna look good out there. I think he might get the knockout. I think he'll get it in the first round, if not decision. We move on. We have, if this will load, Brunno Ferreira versus Armen Petrosyan. I'm gonna have to go with Brunno Ferreira in this fight if he does not freaking fumble the fight away, bro. He fumbled it the last time out with a boosted Magomed, and I was pissed because I had picked him to win. But I think I'm gonna go with him. They gave him he has to beat this guy, dude. Armen Petrosyan is on a 2-fight losing streak against Rodolfo Vieira, who lost his last fight. I think he did. I forgot. And he lost to Sharon Magomed, who just got fraud checked by MVP. I think Brunno Ferreira has good striking. Not as good as Sharon Magomed, obviously, but I think he will knock out Armen Petrosyan. He has a chance. He just don't fumble it away, bro. Please, you got this. He's knocked out like Phil Hawes. He did lose to Nazoltin Ruziboyev, who's a can crusher, which is crazy, but I think Brunno Ferreira is gonna win this fight. I think he's just better on the feet. He has decent grappling. He has to win this fight. That's it. That's all I gotta say. We move on to this fight that was moved up. This fight that was finally moved up. It was supposed to start the prelims. We have Rei Tsuruya versus Joshua Van. This one's a really good fight. I love this fight. I'm gonna go with Joshua Van. Rei Tsuruya has only one fight in the UFC, and it was against Carlos Hernandez. And when Carlos Hernandez was up on the feet, he looked pretty decent against Rei Tsuruya. Rei Tsuruya's a grappler only, and I think Joshua Van has good enough takedown defense to stop Rei Tsuruya's takedowns, and he has good striking. I think he could knock out Rei Tsuruya this time. I don't think he's going to decision this time, bro. I believe in Joshua Van. He's going to knock this guy out. He's stepping in on short notice. Joshua Van was supposed to fight Bruno Silva. Hopefully he knocks out this contender, fights another ranked guy, or maybe he moves up because this guy highly touted. But I feel like Joshua Van got this in the baggie. He has really good striking, and he keeps improving every time he's out there. I believe in Joshua Van. I'm a big fan of him. I think he's going to get the win. We move on to this fight that was also moved up because I don't know why it was so down on in the prelims, but it's the feature prelim now. We have Curtis Blaydes versus Rizvan Kuniev. Rizvan, also a steroid user. He won in his Contender Series fight. If he's gonna look that big this Saturday fully, I'm gonna have to go with Curtis Blaydes, and I'm gonna go with Curtis Blaydes regardless, dude. This guy just came off an intern championship fight against Tom Aspinall. Curtis Blaydes is the top of like the heavyweight division. I don't know why they're giving Rizvan this guy. I think Blaydes' wrestling is really good. His grappling is good. He's decent on the feet as well. He knocked out Jalin Almeida, who was on a tear. Like, come on, bro. Like, what are we doing, UFC? Like, why are we making this fight? Yes, it's interesting. Dude was pretty good. He beat that Ferreira guy from PFL. But come on, Curtis Blaydes, dude. I know heavyweight is like boring, but whatever. I got Curtis Blaydes winning this fight. I don't want to talk about this fight. We move on. We have we have Bobby King Green versus Mauricio Ruffy. I'm gonna go with Mauricio Ruffy here. I'm being honest with you folks. I don't know what the UFC is doing with this fight right here. I know they're trying to move up Mauricio Ruffy, and Bobby Green is like declining a little bit, but Mauricio Ruffy could get fraud checked here. I'm not gonna lie, he could get fraud checked. I'm still picking him to win, but he has a chance of getting fraud checked. Bobby Green has a really nice Philly shell. He has good striking, and you know, in the 2 fights that this guy's had in the UFC against James Malarkey, bro, Bobby Green could beat anybody. Could beat James Malarkey. I'm pretty sure Bobby Green could beat him. But it was a crazy performance against James Malarkey. Against James Liontop, you can tell he couldn't figure him out. You know, he was obviously winning the fight. Liontop was stepping in on short notice. Sad that Liontop got cut, because man, he has a hell of a chin. Tough dude out there. I think he would have been great for the prelims, dude, just bringing wars. But I still think Ruffy's gonna win this fight by knockout. Maybe. I don't know. This is an interesting fight. It's an interesting fight. I have Ruffy still winning by knockout, maybe like second or first, depending on how slow Bobby Green is. I don't know, bro. Bobby Green shot himself into a takedown against Paddy Pimblett and got choked out. So like, and in his last fight against Jim Miller, he was like, I mean, the last fight after that of Paddy Pimblett against Jim Miller, dude, whatever, dude. He killed Jim Miller, Bobby Green, but I just think Mauricio Ruffy, they're trying to, like, you know, give him some names, you know, get him up there. Mauricio Ruffy does need to fight a grappler. I don't know, like, he just reminds me of a young Connor. That has good takedown defense, but maybe we need to see him against, you know, a good grappler before we shoot him up to the rankings, because UFC is moving this guy pretty fast. Obviously, fighting nerds. But we move on. We have, if this will load, Amanda Lemos versus Iasmin Lucindo. Interesting fight right here. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's a tough one, because Amanda Lemos is 37. She's just pretty old, but she has a chance of knocking this chick out. But Lucindo's pretty good as well. She is a good grappler as well. You got to remember, Lemos got submitted by, I mean, you know, armbar submit by Vanjiroba. But in Lucindo's last time out against Mariana Rodriguez, she didn't have like so much output on the ground. I remember the ref stepping in and, like, you know, standing it up or breaking it up. I don't remember at what, but she's been on a tear since she's got into the UFC. She did lose her first fight against Jasmine Ugaris, but ever since then, she has one finish against Poliana Viviana. In the regional scene, she was knocking chicks out and submitting girls. It's just ever since she's been in the UFC, she's been kind of like a decision merchant. I really want to lean with Amanda Lemos, but she doesn't really do good with the grappling. But I think if she has the striking and the power to knock this chick out, watch out. But I think I'm gonna go with Iasmin Lucindo here. I think she might implement the grappling and did what she did to Mariana Rodriguez, just to the same way she's gonna do to Amanda Lemos. We move on, man. We move on to the featured fight of this card. It is Jalin Turner versus Ignacio Bahamondes. This is a really good fight right here, folks. I'm gonna go with Ignacio Bahamondes. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I know Jalin Turner is more skilled than Ignacio Bahamondes and has faced better competition, but Ignacio Bahamondes is on the rise right now, and he's training out there with the champ, Belal Muhammad. Remember his name, folks. Remember his name. Gonna fight Jack Della Maddalena. But his last time out, he knocked out Manuel Torres, and I thought Manuel Torres was a high prospect. I even made a video about Manuel Torres. Thanks for the 4K that are watching, that watched that video. If you're watching this video, I don't get that many views as I did before. We move on though. Manuel Torres, dude, he did good when he got into the UFC. And also Bahamondes, though, he's been in the UFC since 2021. He lost to John Mudsecki, but he's been on a tear ever since. Yeah, he lost to Ludovic Klein. This is a big test for him. I know. Jalin Turner's a big test. But I just think Jalin Turner doesn't have fight IQ like that, bro. He makes dumb decisions in fight, and he wilts, dude. He wilts. Against Renato Moicano, Jalin Turner gave up, bro. When Renato Moicano got the leg hooks in and he was going to ground and pound or whatever, Jalin Turner just quit out there, and I think he quits in some of these fights too much, bro. Dan Hooker fight, that was a split decision, bro, against Matthijs Gamrot, split decision. He obviously killed Bobby Green, you know. He himself has been trying to get to the elite, you know, of the lightweight division. He's been obviously killing himself to make this weight. I think he's going to lose this fight and move up to welterweight. And I think he'll do good in welterweight, dude. I think he needs to just move up and, you know, go to welterweight. Making that weight is pretty hard. He's made a run, got himself to the rankings, but against the upper elites, he's kind of been falling out. I think he does have a chance of beating Ignacio Bahamondes, but I just feel like Ignacio Bahamondes is just really good on the feet, uses his kicks really good. And if he's grappling with Bilal Muhammad, watch out. So I got Ignacio Bahamondes and Jalin Turner moving up to welterweight. Let's go on to the co-main event that we've seen before, folks. It's going to be a little bit more interesting, a little bit more now, because, I don't know, the layoff, I guess, from Fiziev, but we have Justin Turner versus Rafael Fiziev. The odds for this fight have been insane, bro. I'm going to be honest with you. The odds for this fight have been really insane. Gaethje is an underdog. It's understandable because he is old. His last time out, he did get brutally knocked out in the 5th round by Max Holloway. Jesus Lord. But is he nearing the end of his career is my question at 36 years old. He does have a win against Dustin Poirier for the BMF belt or whatever the hell that is. I don't know. But let's talk about the Rafael Fiziev fight. First of all, Rafael Fiziev has taken a lot of damage, bro. A lot of damage. Rafael Fiziev, after he fought Gaethje, he took a couple battle scars there. Tore his ACLs against Gamrot. Fiziev been on a 2-year layoff, almost 2-year layoff. He comes back. It's against Gaethje. Does he win, dude? Does he win? This is a tough one to pick because Gaethje, remember, he's on a full training camp. I don't know, dude. Gaethje's on a full training camp. Fiziev taking this shot on short notice for like 2-year layoff. I don't know, dude. This one's a hard one to pick now. Especially how the odd makers have shifted this one. I didn't think they would shift it like that. Like, I wouldn't think they would, like, favor Fiziev more because now he's coming off a 2-year layoff and maybe he's been training for someone. And he's younger than Gaethje and I don't know. Looking at Gaethje's, I don't know. If you look at Gaethje's couple last opponents, Fiziev has been the younger guy. I think he's been the youngest opponent since Gaethje has faced in a while. I think he's 31. That, you know, he's entering his prime right now. Man, I don't want to doubt Justin Gaethje though, because on a full training camp he can knock this dude out. He looked really good in that first fight. I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to just go with this is like a flip of a coin, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. Now, so I don't know. I'm gonna go with Justin Gaethje. You know what? I don't mind if Fiziev wins. Congratulations, brother. You're back on track. You're you're higher up in the rankings. Better chance at a title shot, maybe. But I just think Justin Gaethje on a full training camp, the fact that he's beating this guy, the fact that he might, you know, he knows how to get this guy on the feet. I'm going to go with Justin Gaethje winning this fight, man. Let's get on to the main event because this is the only fight that anyone will care about after it's all said and done. We have Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev. Now, this fight is crazy right here, folks. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's a tough one to pick because if Magomed Ankalaev has been training, is he really gonna grapple this fight? Because he's not a grappler. People say he's a grappler, but I'm like, yo, he's not really a grappler. He doesn't have a submission. He has like not submitted anybody in the UFC that I don't believe. But I don't know. He's more of a striker, and the thing is that he leaves himself open in the fight against Rakic. Whenever he went for a straight left or a straight right, I think it's a straight left, he would always have his right hand a little bit down, and he'd always get caught. And that is Alex Pereira's left hand that everybody gets dropped, that everybody gets finished. And if Alex sees that, it's over. And that's what I'm kind of been leaning on. And also the leg kicks. Magomed Ankalaev against Jan Blachowicz. Jan Blachowicz kicked the living life out of those legs. And dude was crumbling. I feel like... I know Alex Pereira doesn't really leg kick super hard like that. But if Pereira implements the leg kicks a little bit more and connects upstairs, buddy, Magomed Ankalaev is going down. And Magomed Ankalaev, dude, the only way I see him winning this fight is if he grapples. I don't know if he can go 5 rounds with Pereira. The only way Magomed can like actually win this fight is if he takes Alex Pereira down in the middle of the octagon and wins the round like that. Because Alex Pereira can, if you leave him by the cage, he has a chance of getting up. He's done it before against Jiri Prochazka. He wiggles his way out. He makes his way up. He's done it before. But is Magomed Ankalaev stronger? Is he going to be the mauler that we think he is going to be in this fight? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm going to go with Alex. I'm going to pick Alex Pereira. I'm going to pick Alex Pereira winning this fight. If it goes to decision, it's going to go to Alex Pereira. We know this. Like, the UFC wants Alex Pereira to win because if Jones wins, they're going to make this fight of Pereira. But we all know that Tom is going to win. Tom is going to win. And if Tom wins, heavyweight is kind of dead. They'll bring up Alex Pereira just for this fight, probably. The UFC needs Alex Pereira to win. He is the literal, he's the man of the company right now. He's the reason pay-per-views are selling. Without this man, I don't know what the UFC is doing. But Ankalaev, dude, I don't want to like say he's out because I've been thinking about this fight ever since it's been announced. I'm like, dude, who's gonna win this fight? Magomed has a chance, but this is the first time Alex Pereira faces anybody that's well balanced like this, but not super well balanced because Magomed is not a really good grappler, but he can take you down. But I don't know. It all depends on like what Glover has been teaching Alex Pereira down, like, you know, at Connecticut. Like, what has he been teaching? Like, what is the grappling looking like? I don't know. I do believe Pereira is way faster than Magomed Ankalaev on the feet as well. So like, I feel like Magomed might get caught, dude. I feel like Magomed Ankalaev is gonna get caught. I think Alex Pereira wins this fight, 4th round knockout. Or by decision. I'm going to lean more with the 4th round knockout. Or 3rd round. But I'm JNMS MMA. Like and subscribe, folks.